All you will need is your stability ball. I do have a 65, but it just actually doesn't seem like a 65. I probably need to put more air in it. So how much air is in your ball does make a difference. Just something to be mindful of. When I sit on it, my knees are in pretty good shape, so I'm okay when I sit, but my hips can tend to be miffy. So when you're dropping deep, generally you want to come to about 90 degrees at the knee, maybe a bit deeper, but if you're bouncing and you're kind of sinking to here, probably not as I fall off, not a great thing when you're picking a ball. So in general, most people I find, if you pick a 65, it's going to be nice. It's going to be generally a kind of a comfortable ball position, and then it's not too big for your back, etc. On that note, we're just going to start in standing. If you have to reach with one hand to control the ball, open your legs up wide enough that you can flirt your knees gently on it so you can actually stand up. Otherwise, you're twisted and holding down all the time, and we don't want to do that, right? So we're just going to start with that ball in front, and I'm just going to hug it very gently with my knees, abs engaged, pubic bone all the way up to xiphoid. Inhale, lift that heart. Exhale, hands down, center heart, and we're going to roll the ball out. So peel it, start to press it away, push into your hands, untuck your tailbone. Yeah, my ball is small. I'm going to go on my elbows and rock it back and forth. As I rock back, I am going to lift up the balls of my feet and then roll forward. So I'm doing a transfer of weight from heel to ball of foot, but I'm not really relevating as I go forward. I'm trying to untuck the tailbone. If I feel a bit tight, I can put my hands on and be more in a 4-point stance, a little higher in tabletop. And then bend the knees, let that touch in, and then big inhales, we lift the heart, give an extension in your spine, hands down, center heart, peel it down vertebrae by vertebrae. Go ahead and press that out again. Again, elbows or hands, they can be straight, your arms can be straight or bent. I'm keeping them bent in until I get a bit warmer in the back and I feel like I can go lower. And then from here, I just want you to bend the knees and straighten them. Bend them and straighten them. As you bend, round into angry cat. So I'm kind of bringing my elbows to my knees as I come in nice and deep. I'm then going to press that out, stand taller so I can go neutral. I'm going to bend in and round, and then press out and stand taller. So exhale as you round and come down. Inhale as you lengthen your spine. One more time. Exhale, tuck that in. Inhale, lengthen. And then bend the knees, slowly fold it in. Just kind of grab that ball with your knees. Inhale as we come up. Exhale, hands down, center heart. And I'm going to take that ball off of one side. Lean forward. I'm going to support my leg here. And I'm just going to do a little bit of stability or mobility through my shoulder. I'm going to turn it at an angle here. So when I reach it away, my palm is flat, and then I'm going to turn to the pinky finger and retract my shoulder down and back. There'll be a small bend in the elbow, but it's not a big one. And I'm thinking of pulling through that lat line and my traps. Teres major, working hand in hand with those lats, just getting that shoulder blade down and away. One more time, down and away. And hold it down and away, support your hand there and stir your pot. So I'm doing that nice little stir the pot. If my back is a little tight, maybe I'm standing taller to do this. If I'm okay, I'm coming down. What I don't want to do is hunch and flatten out the leg, right? I want to be supportive. Go ahead and circle the other direction. And then we're going to reach across like we're threading the needle. Bend down, pretend you're grabbing something, and then come up as high as you can, rotate open. But we do want to keep a hold of the ball. So if you're actually laterally flexing, that's okay. Bend and come up, and then reach and lift. Really think of that as a bow and arrow and draw your arm back. One more time. Stay in the up, actively reach it, look to that hand. Big breath here. And then we're just going to come around the corner, slice this through, press the ball away, and kind of do a thread the needle down here. If you're feeling okay, down you go a bit deeper. You can push that ball out farther and lean into that hip of that hand you're sawing. Give a little look from the floor to the sky. That shoulder, remember that little retraction we were doing at the beginning there? Pull that down and away. Bring it back to center, slowly fold it up. Bring your feet in tight. Now I'm going to be at a bit of a lateral here to hold my ball. That's okay because I'm going into lateral. So I'm going to press that over. If I'm a bit tight, I'm going to start here. If that's okay, I'm going to go to here. And if it's still okay, I'm looking down and I'm pushing the ball away and pulling it in. Pushing away and pulling in. One more time. Stay in the way for me. Rotate down to the ball, bend your knees, and just sweep that. Now we're in the front. We're just going to peel it to tall. We're going to sneak that ball to the other side. So nice and wide, hinge forward. I'm going to start with that palm flat and pull it down. So this hand is on my leg, giving me forward support. So that forward flexion, if we don't support it, that sometimes is really hard on the back. If you're okay, you don't have to. That puts more work into your core. If that's a little difficult, you put the hand there. And I'm really now focusing just on that retraction of the shoulder. So I'm just holding my pinky finger on there, my thumb down, and I'm just reaching it and drawing my shoulder down and away. Inhale, exhale. Feel those lats pull down into your back pocket. And then keep it here, stir the pot. You can put your whole hand on there. You can stand a little taller if you need to. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, stir the other direction. Let that shoulder go loose in its socket. And then take that arm, we're going into that saw. We're going to bend down, grab, and then come right up and rotate open. Inhale, exhale. Change the heights in your body, change the heights in your hips. Knees, hips, ankles, everything's rotating. The whole spine is joining the party. We're going to do one more. We're going to stay in the up. Stay in the up, actively reach, rotate open, maybe a little lift of your heart. Big breath here. And then we're going to come all the way around. If you're a bit tight, you're going to slice here and support yourself again. If you're okay, you push that forward, but keep your shoulder down and dip a little deeper. Still okay, lean into that leg. Maybe you're okay for looking from the floor to the sky, getting some mobility into the neckline. Increase the inhale, exhale. We want that volume of breath going into those lungs, opening up those lobes. Bring it back to center. Come all the way up, and then bring the feet in tight. And again, you might be at a lateral flexion to keep a hold of the ball. That's okay. Start with your little bit of lateral flexion. Shoulder feels okay. The hand can go on the headline. And again, you might let go of the ball briefly to come up to tall. And then full lateral flexion. Push the hips out in opposition as if someone's pulling them away. And then go ahead and stay in that side lateral. Breathe as big as you can into those intercostal muscles. And then we're going to fold down to the ball. We're going to sweep it across the ball. Just go ahead and let go of that as you pull it all the way up and just roll those shoulders. So we're going to use that ball and get warmed up in a little bit of squatting. So find yourself down a little bit so your fingertips are on. If your tailbone's tucked, untuck. Have that nice neutral spine. And then I am going to come up to tall each time. And I'm just going to roll the ball in enough that I can let go of it. Otherwise, again, this ball is too short for me not to be able to let go. I've got to let go of it. Hold it down there. I've got someone just coming on, you guys. Hold it down there and pulse. Press, press, press. Let's go 5, 4. It just says iPhone entering. So let's see who on earth is coming on. Hold it down here. Shift your shoulders into back pockets. So instead of palms flat, go to your pinky and draw your shoulders down, right? From here, lift the heels, lower the heels. Lift the heels, pull those abs in nice and strong. Inhale, exhale. I'm holding as delicate as I can into that pinky. Not a lot of pressure. So more of the pressure is in the legs. Hips, ankles, working a little bit of mobility here. Stay in the lift, pulse the knees and the hips. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the heels, shoot that ball out, shoot your hips out, drop down. So here I'm going to push that ball out quite far, drop down into my shoulders and get a little deeper into the hamstrings. Start to increase that volume of breath. I'm rocking back and forth, getting a bit more stretch into the back of the hammies. And then bend the knees, articulate, really drop that tailbone down. Let that ball grab between the legs. Big inhale as we come up. Exhale, hands down, center heart. And we're going to get a little bit into the legs. If you want to use a weight, you can grab one. You don't have to. I'm going to take 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. The ball is actually going to be in the other hand. The ball is going to be opposite of the leg that's forward. and then my hand is in the center. I'm up on the back ball of foot. If that's difficult, you can lower the heel, especially if you've got anything going on in your toes. But all I want you to do is put your hand strong on your ball. Lean forward, so the line from my heel to my hip to my shoulder is one long. I don't have an extension happening partway through. And I'm just going to go up and down on that back foot. And I really want you to think of pushing away with power off the back foot. Don't just do a casual calf raise. Press. Press. Now as we press, we're going to reach that arm forward. So we've got to slow it down here. We're doing a frontal raise here. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep the hand there, inch your back leg in, teeter-totter forward. So if this is tight, I'm going to be taller. If I'm okay, down I go. Lower and lift both the front, the back leg and the front arm. Balancing on your standing leg, shoulders drawn down. And I'm just rowing in. So now it's coming narrow up to my shoulder. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up there and pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that foot, reach it down, get your toe engaged, and then lift up. Back leg now is bent. Pull the ball in so it's close, and down and up. In the down and up, I'm going to pull from the sky. Watch your knee doesn't collapse in and come straight down. Let's go 5 and 4. Last 3, zipper up those abs, hip ribs are square. 2. Now stay in the down and just give me a little bicep curl. So I'm just kind of doing that row as I come up. Let's go 5 more. Hold your lunge as deep as you can. 4, 3, 2, and then stay here. Reach that arm straight out. We're going to bow and arrow. We're going to rotate and come back. Rotate and come back. See if you can get a little lower on that leg. We're just holding an isometric here in our lunge. Go 1 more. And let that arm relax down. Let that knee fold down. Take that weight and slide it to the opposite side just so you know what side is going to have the weight next. Both hands are on the ball and I'm just going to push my hips forward for a hip flexor stretch and back. Just a little forward, so I'm just getting some mobility here. If my knee's not having it, put a pad underneath the knee. Bring that ball in towards your hip and then your hip in towards the ball. Drop down onto the elbows. Now, if this is deep enough, this is where you'll stay. Or you can get rid of that ball totally, go down to your hands and go deeper. This is where I'm staying for the hip flexor. It's up to you. I'm going to push into that ball and lift my heart. Hand comes up and I just extend open. Nice big breath here. If your hip needs support, bring it in tighter. And you've got it, Lisa. If you want to let go and go into full bind, grab that back knee you can. Inhale, exhale. Make sure if you're doing the back leg one that you're rotating your shoulders to the front and that pulls on that back leg. Now, if you've got short arms, it's going to pull even more, right? Go ahead and let go of that. Hinge your hips back. I'm flexing up my front foot and I'm just going to sink my hips back. I'm using the ball. Watch here, you're not too tucked under. We're trying to untuck the tailbone. So if you're tight in the hammies, you might be up here to keep that spine neutral versus down here. Now point and flex that front foot. So I'm just moving forward and backwards into that front leg. Inhale, exhale. Push into your elbows, pull the ball in tight. Take that front leg, unweight it, and swing it all the way around. Beautiful. Pull the ball right into your pelvis. Elbows are going to activate and pull it in. As I do that, the shoulders are going to shift down, just like we kind of played with that ball pressing at the beginning. I'm going to curl my toes. Keep a neutral spine. So the tendency will be to tuck your tailbone under. Keep it neutral. Push into your elbows and lift an inch. And we're just holding that plank. Now I'm keeping my arms in 11s. I'm also leaning over my shoulders. I'm going to see if I can push my elbows away. So my shoulders are now in line with my elbows versus them tucked into my body. And then hang out there. That makes it quite a bit harder on the core as well as the quads. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2. Push your hips up to the sky and press down. Open that up. Maybe you're going to heel toe open a little bit with the legs and bend the knees. Slowly shift it up. Let that ball come in. Open up your hips, push your hips forward here just for a little recovery. So I'm just going to take my PSIS, put my thumbs kind of in that spot, push my pelvis forward, and then just lift my heart. My head doesn't need to go. The focus is the pelvis here. So I'm just leaning forward into that pelvis. Maybe a little no on your neckline. Don't worry about zippering up. Let yourself have a little bit of a Buddha belly. You're getting support from your knees. And then pull your pelvis back. So from here, that weight is your indication as to which leg is going forward. So the leg that goes forward is the leg on the weight side. The ball's coming in, and then go ahead and grab that weight. So we're going to lean forward. I've got weight into the hand on the ball, weight into my quad just for now, so I can get that long line, and I can activate that back foot and those toes. Inhale, exhale. Once you have that, the arm is by your side. You're going to slow it down and you're going to reach. Reach. Inhale, exhale. So we're just doing a frontal raise on the front, working those toes in the back, and we are staying forward into a lean on that front glute and quad. Let's go 2 more. And 1. Stay in the up. Bring that foot a little closer in. Ball might go forward and teeter-totter forward. Down and up. Row it in. This is difficult. Stand taller and row here, right? We don't have to be all the way forward. Let's go 4, 3, shoulders down, abs engaged. 2, hips square to the floor. Pulse it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touch that back toe down. Find it in place. I tapped you in the sternum bone. You stood tall. Pull the bar back or the ball back. And now we're going straight up and down. Ideally, the knee's not going forward on the back leg bent lunge. It's going straight down. And then we're pulling from the sky. Let's go 5 and 4. 3, use your breath. 2, now we're going to do those isometric holds. We're going to hold it down and just get a little bicep curl going. Curl and down. I am doing a hammer curl, so I'm rotating on the way up and then spinning it on the way down. Stay as deep as you can. Tuck your tailbone a little bit so you're activating that back hip flexor and that back quad. Now stay here. Again, as deep as you can, and bow and arrow. And pull. Vision cuts the room in half. Chin stays parallel to the earth. Let's go 2 more. And 1 more. Push that forward. Release that down. Inch the foot back. If you need a kneeling pad, grab it. Otherwise, the knee goes down. Uncurl the back toe and just push back and forth into that hip. Again, doesn't have to be super deep. We're just looking for a little mobility here to start with. So just kind of lunging forward, moving back. And then once that feels good, you can stay in the forward, pull that ball in. Unless you're going into the full hold position, go ahead. Reach one arm, lift the heart. If that's a good enough stretch, that's where you're going to stay. Or punch the hip back, grab that leg, pull the hip forward a little bit, and then square off your shoulders to the front. If you want to grab with both hands, just let the ball go completely. Lift that heart. Keep that curvature happening in the spine. And then when you're ready, that hip goes back. The ball of foot comes up. If it's out, if your leg's out to the side, kind of square it off in front of your hips. You can square off your pelvis and then pull that in tight for the hamstring stretch. If you've got more range, you can bring that ball right to the very front. I can flex up that foot. And I can keep it on that front toe area and untuck my tailbone. That's a doozy on the hamstring. Inhale, exhale. Bring the ball in tight. Pull it in so it's supporting you, and you're going to take that leg all the way around and then tuck it in. So we're going into full plank this time. If you want to do the short plank, you can. Otherwise, elbows are in place. Push into it with some power. Find neutral or slightly supported now. I like slightly supported because we're stepping out, which is harder on the core. If you're leaning forward to start with, that's fine. Curl the toes. Press up. Now I'm going to push my elbows out a little bit. Step out, step out. From here, this is a supported position. This is more neutral. They're both correct. Just depends on how your lower back is feeling about it. Notice that you're kind of throwing your head forward over your fingers. See if you can take your ball and slowly roll it away. Now keep it where you can away. Holding nice and strong. If you're able to, we're going to do a little front support, but all we're going to do is rock through the toes. So I'm pushing forward and coming back. Pull those abs in nice and strong. Push away from the ball with power. This is a tough plank. Let's hold for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Knees down. Uncurl. Paddle out those toes as you slowly lift. Relax off that neckline, little cat-cow here. So we're holding it in tight. We're going to reach, come around the corner, so maybe you won't let go of your ball, and walk it away. As you press it out, hands on strong, untuck your tailbone and roll here. So I'm just kind of going back and forth. The farther out your ball is, the more drop you can get in your shoulders. When you do that, if I keep my hands really close, there's a tendency for my shoulders to wrap up around my ears. So if I go wider, it allows me to use my lat line and pull my shoulders down a little more efficiently. So go wide. If it's bothering you, smaller bend in the elbow and face closer to the ball, right? More support. Play with that. Inhale, exhale. Then drop your tailbone heavy, articulate your spine, have a small lateral rotation. I'm going to keep a hold of my ball, keep my rib hip nice and strong, and just lie back in my thigh, just in my thigh, and then slowly come forward in my thigh. So my thoracic and my cervical aren't going anywhere. I'm either slightly supported if my back is miffy or neutral. I'm controlling that and I'm lying back in my thighs. I'm just flirting my fingers on and then gently coming up. Again, lateral rotation through the hip will make this a little more invited into your quad. When you come up, don't catapult up. So lie back nice and strong. Now, if this feels good, from your breastbone up, you can lengthen a bit more. Bring your length in, pull that forward with power. Go again, lie back. Your thigh is causing the lie back. Then cervical and thoracic, give a bit more length. Then they come out of that and then your thigh pulls you up. Beautiful. Elbows on, curl the toes. And actually, let's get more of a calf stretch. Let's move the ball off just briefly. Hands down and let's pedal it up. Just let that ball go, you guys. Pedal it here, get a little true down dog or elephant. Pushing your heels to the floor, untucking that tailbone if you can. Then drop both heels, keep the feet still, and sink deeper into your chest. Again, too aggressive for you. Lower back and hamstrings just kind of not impressed. Lift the heels, bend the knees here, so you can get your chest dropping down. Cycle that breath. Nice and big. One more big breath for me. Try not to roll out on your baby toe. Put a bit more weight into the main ball of foot posture, and then walk your hands to your feet in 4, 3, hands go flat. So if you need to put your if you're fingertipping, bend the knees. Let your head drop down, look through to your knees, and then bend those knees, come all the way up. And roll that spine, give everything a little wiggle. And we're going to grab a seat on our ball. So find yourself in about sits bones. Make sure your weights aren't somewhere that they're going to be in the way of movement through the ball. And I'm just going to kind of sit here and get a little bit of a bum bounce going. So my legs are about as wide as hips, basically. And I'm just kind of controlling that little bum bounce a little bit. And I'm going to lean forward a little bit. Fingertip my ball and squeeze. squeeze. So I'm reaching with both arms equally, not with one, because that'll cause me to laterally rotate or laterally flex. And when I come up, I'm going to squeeze the tush, squeeze. Not a squeeze with a tuck, just a squeeze of the booty muscle without tucking your tailbone. Let yourself drop, lift, drop, squeeze, drop and hold. Go 4, 3, just warming up that butt cheek a bit, 2, 1, and then let yourself release down. Sit on the apex, nice and strong. Bring your feet more sits bones. Reach the arms, see your fingers in peripheral. So I want to be in that neutral spine, so I don't want to be tucked under. I want to sit tall. So if that's hard, walk the feet a little farther forward, especially if the hips are gripping. And then inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate. If you notice this leg on the direction you're rotating is shifting, you're moving your pelvis. Inhale, rotate, look to your backhand. Exhale, center. Inhale, rotate, sit super tall. Inhale, rotate. Rotate a bit more if you can. Cervical looks to the backhand. Exhale, center. One more time each way. Inhale, rotate. Zipper up. See your hands in peripheral. Don't have them so wide that you're overstretching through your chest. Bring them center. Last time. Inhale, rotate. Grow, grow, grow. Rotate. Rotate once more. Bring it center. Sorry, and we're going to do roll-ups. So I want you to walk forward with your feet so that your bum goes forward of the apex of the ball. So there's my apex, and I'm sitting forward of it. And this is where you can kind of tell ball's a little bit small and pretty deep into the hips, but if you have nothing wrong with knees and hips, that's fine. If you have issues with knees and hips, bigger ball. So from here, I'm just going to, without moving the ball because my knees are going forward and backwards, I'm going to scoop and move the spine. So here the knees don't move, the feet don't move, the spine articulates. We find a little bit of flexion. Don't let your knees go out to the side. And then I'm going to roll that up into my neutral. So I'm going to tuck my tailbone, and the movement is not the ball, it's spinal. Go a little farther where maybe the tips of the shoulder blades are getting close. I'm going to scoop and come tall. And now on this one, if my neck has issues, I'm going to support my head here, and I'm going to lie back and open the chest. This is where you might need to make an adjustment of where you are on your ball. And then cervical nod, come all the way up. And as I come up, I've noticed I'm at the end of my mat. I feel I'm going to slip, so I've brought myself more on my mat. So here we're going to start to add a bit more movement. We're going to scoop and deepen the spine. If you're okay with your arms leaving your headline, reach it over. Head is on the ball if your neck can go there. I'm going to go wide arms. As my arms come around to my side, I'm going to exhale, cervical nod, push my spine into the ball, and reach my arms forward, lift the balls of my feet, and fold forward. Nice big breath here. Stay here for a moment for a stretch. Bend the knees if your hammies are too tight. And then I'm going to bend the knees as I come in, push my spine into the ball, and over I go again. Reach it over, making 11s, and then circling wide with the arms. Big exhale, push your spine, squish the air out of your spine, and then lift. And if you're tight here, you can just go to this forward flexion here. If this is a big stretch, this is where you are supporting your hands. If you're okay, you're going to fold and straighten fully. Nice big breath here. So I'm kind of doing a bit of a hack here. I take this L in my thumb and index finger. If I've got the flexibility, I'm going to put it into my ankles and make sure I haven't rotated my pelvis from one side to the other. My hands are giving me a feedback here. And then I'm going to push that spine down into that ball again. I'm going to keep 11s this time. So keep 11s, keep 11s. We're coming up into saw. So push the spine in. Take your right arm, sweep it back. Continue and take your left arm, saw. So my saw might happen up here if I'm tighter. If I'm okay, I'm going to go down into my saw. If I can, I'm going to look up to that backhand. Then I'm going to roll. Both arms go over in 11s. This is a big articulation in our spine. As I come up, the left arm is going to reach back. The right arm is going to go over that leg. If doable, I'm going to look to that backhand for my saw. And then I'm going to come all the way up. Make my 11s. Again, every once in a while you might need to adjust where those feet are so you don't feel you're going to slip. Again, sweep, one arm, opposite arm reaches over that leg and you reach, look up to that back hand. And then our last time on our saw, over we go into the spine. Bring it all the way up, sweep that arm, saw the opposite side off, look up to that hand, big stretch there, and then saw to neutral. Walk your feet in. So you will notice you have moved back on the ground. And that's where you sort of have to keep making adjustments on your feet. From there, let's bring that forward and stand facing forward. From here, the tendency is going to go into turnout on the hips. I actually want you parallel or slightly internally rotated. To start with, go parallel. Bend quite deep. Pull this into your pubic bone. So if you have a massive ball, this is just awkward. Pull it into your pubic bone and then drop your pubic bone down onto it. From there, we're going to take our feet and we're going to tuck them behind us and then pull forward in our pelvis. So we're getting an inner thigh, basically like you're riding a horse except for you're straight up and down on it. And then we're going to squeeze the inner thighs and open. Squeeze the inner thighs and open. There is a whole balance trick to this one. Pull up your pelvic floor, zipper up your abs, squeeze those adductors. So what tends to happen is we have our feet out here, which is actually going to make us more unstable. So in this position, you do have to sort of come down low and then move forward into it. And then your toes are behind. So I still am neutral. I still have that nice neutral alignment and I'm squeezing and lifting. Now pulse it. 5, 4, zipper up, 3, 2, 1, release, go again, set of 5, 5, squeeze, 4, glutes, inner thighs, lots going on, 3, 2, now hold it and squeeze it in for all it's worth. It's an isometric. So you might have some air time between your booty and your pubic bone, and then the ball, squeeze, 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 a little bit of pressure into your toes, 4, 3, 2, sink back, send the booty back. See, and this depends on the size of your ball. See if you can roll back and actually get onto your feet and hold the ball between your knees. So now I have a nice low squeeze, and now I'm squeezing my inner thighs. My feet are flat. My ball is slightly off the floor. Totally depends on the size of your ball. Yeah, good luck with that, Lisa. Too big of a ball. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it isometric as tight as you can. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Try and pop the ball between your legs. 5, zipper up, pull your abs in. 4, 3, 2, go a little tighter, squeeze again. 5, 4, push, push, push. 3, 2, release. Oh. Give a few little wiggles, move those hips, and then bring yourself to the front of your mat. Take your yoga mat, your balls, your weights. These are called weights, Fiona. Take your weights, put them to either side. Get it to the end of your mat, and we're just going to do a big booty squat and roll. So bring it right down, grab that ball, roll. If you don't like that, just go ahead and sit down. Lovely. Find yourself so you've got some good positioning in your mat. You've got all the mat to use. And I'm just going to grab that ball gently with my ankle bone. So I'm going to flex my foot, bring both feet into the side, and squeeze it kind of part of my bottom part of my leg, my toes, and my lateral or medial malleolus. Knees aren't on. Scoop. And then just bring yourself down so that ball now is in the legs. Push it towards the ankles. If you don't want to use the ball is heavy, you can put it down. And I'm going to hold that ball here. I'm going to do a very careful double leg toe tap. So find a supported spine and go very slowly here. So my legs aren't straightening to start with. If this is really tough, I can bend the knees to drop it down and straighten the knees to come up. So right now it's a little different than the traditional toe tap. I'm actually bending and straightening my knees to allow the ball to gently touch down. Now if that's working for me, I won't bend the knees. I'll move through my hip socket. So now the ball is going farther away, which means it's harder on my core, it's more weight load. Still working for me. I could straighten the legs as I reach them out, bend them to come in, or I could keep the legs straight the whole time. You're going to have to decide where you can go here, where you realize, put your middle finger on your ASIs, your thumbs on your ribs, and you're not losing your connection here. So inner thighs are working as we're lowering and lifting. This one's a tough one. Go 2 more. It's kind of one of those deceiving ones that gets hard fast. Last one, choose the variation that's nicely challenging you, and then let the ball touch down, put your feet on top, and we're just going to do a hip opener. So my legs are wide enough on it that I can laterally rotate and let them flop, pull that in, turn my knees in, and roll it out. So I'm just kind of doing internal, external rotation of my hip and socket. Now I want to do individual leg to get a bit more mobility. So I'm going to put one leg down, line this ball up with my sit bone, and I'm just going to work this kind of 90-90. The knee turns in, my hip lifted, my knee turns out, and I'm pushing it away. I'm just allowing my hip and my pelvis to rotate forward, side to side, as I mobilize that hip. So I'm pulling in an internal rotation, pushing my knee and hip out as I'm pressing away. I'm just allowing that movement to occur. And then reverse that pattern. And then switch legs. Bring your other leg on top so the ball is off to one side. I've dropped my hip open as the ball is close into my pubic bone. I'm going to push it away, and then I'm going to rotate my foot and drag it in. So I'm pressing it away. I might need to move my bottom leg out of the way. You can do whatever you want with that bottom leg. I'm just looking for that hip mobility as we slowly press it out. Internally rotate to come in, and then switch. Internally rotate when the ball's in, and then laterally rotate as you pull it back. Just feel those hips mobilizing. Lovely. Bring both heels, ball in, heels right on top. So right now my heels are on the apex and I'm pulling my ball in so it's touching my booty. I'm ideally in a neutral spine. If you need supported, go ahead. If you're using a headrest, move it out of the way because we are lifting into our bridge. So I've got it in tight. In this tight position, I'm now going to pull my knees in tighter. So I'm just on the off the apex, and all I'm going to do is push down into the ball and then release it. So I'm trying to compress the ball with my heels. As I compress the ball, I should feel my glutes and hamstrings kind of fire up. My shins, if my toes are pointing to the sky, my tibialis anterior or shin muscle is tightening as well because I'm holding an isometric there as I press. And then again, neutral spine or slightly supported depending on how your back feels. Now pulse it down, press, press, and you should feel a squeeze and a mobility or a sense of muscle contraction in the hamstring and the glute. Now keep a gentle press down. Elbows into the ground, lift the hips, lower the hips. So when you lower them, they flirt, they don't rest. Have your feet about sits bones difference on the ball, and then your knees are going to stay in line with that. My spine is coming up like a bridge, hinging at the hips versus articulating. We've already done lots of articulation. Now I want you to focus on hinging in a neutral position. Hold the hips as high as you can. We're going to send those legs out to straight. As they go out to straight, your back is going to drop a bit. I still have a neutral alignment. If you can see, I still have curve here, right? If that's bothering your back, give a little tuck. And then from here, we're going to pull it in high. Maybe your feet go flat. And then I almost come to the bottom, but not quite. Push the legs out, lift the hips a bit, lift the knees higher, lift the pelvis higher, and then almost come all the way down, not quite. Nastiness. Push the legs out, long plank in reverse, lift it higher, breathe as you go, almost all the way down, not quite. We're going to reverse. Lift up high. Push the legs out with control. Do not lose that core. Keep it, keep it, keep it, keep it, keep it. Lower the bum almost to the bottom, pull the ball in. Press the hips high. One last one. Push those legs out. Turn on that core. Support that. That just got hard. Lower the bum. Pull it in. Put the booty down. Ooh. Let one foot rest on the ball. Bring the other leg up for a little hammy stretch. Now, if you have a stretch strap, this is a great place for it. If the neck is bothering you at all, you can go ahead and rest it down on a pad. Inhale, exhale, point and flex that foot. Move it around a little bit. Got some hamstring on the one side, or both sides there. And then move the ball to the other side. Let this leg rest. Bring this leg up. Point and flex into that foot. Inhale, exhale into that hamstring. Breathe as you go. Both feet on. And now I'm going to do single leg work. So I'm just going to show it on this side first. I'm going to drop this foot to the floor for support. It might come off, it might not. This foot is in the same position as we did in the doubles, but it's pulled to the sit bone. So here's my sit bone. I'm lining that up with the middle of the ball and then putting my heel on top. From there, I'm going to bring my knee in a little closer and the ball might leave my sit bone a bit. This leg is to the side. I'm going to push the one heel in. Now compress the ball with the one leg. So I'm going to drop this leg just so you can see. If you're comfortable, you can drop that leg long. If it feels better, keep it bent. I just want to show the compression of the ball. And as I push down, I should feel the glute, more so the hamstring. It's trying to curl, but it can't because the ball's in the way. So go ahead and pulse it. Push, push, push. The knee is bent to 90 degrees as you're pressing down. Now keep that press down. Slide your other leg on the floor so you've got support of your foot. Push down into that leg. Lift the hips. Lower the hips. If you have your headrest, get rid of again. Lift the hips. Lower the hips. So keep your heel pushing and compressing the ball as you lift and lower. So don't let go of the compression. Don't let go of that compression. Now, as you push the hips up, if you're okay, you'll drive this knee up. There she is. And bring it down. If that's not going to happen, just lift the heel and lower it down. Alternate if you want. Lift and down. And then if you're able to, get those elbows in place and drive it. And bring it down. Last one. Press and lift. I'm alternating the two. And then I'm going to drive it and down. Oh, nasty. Take that leg off and just let it kind of release out, jiggle it a little bit. So you're going to feel your shin, your glute, your hamstring, and then your whole core connecting into the movement. So on this one now, your leg that just worked stays on the floor. I'm going to find this knee at about 90 degrees, and I'm just going for compression. Right? So I'm just pushing down, feeling the glute and hamstring, the posterior line, find compression. Push and release. Push and release. So it's if I'm trying to squish the ball all the way down to the floor underneath my heel, but I can't, right? Unless you have a leaky ball. And then going to hold it for an isometric. Push and hold it. Feel that contraction. As you did that, you didn't push your back into the floor. You're still neutral here. We're still neutral. We're just finding that strength in an iso hold for 4, 3, 2. Now you can back off of that, push a little bit, but I still want you to have a bit of sensation of press and lift the hips, lower the hips. Bridge. If you want to, you can have a slightly supported spine. If you can maintain neutral, go ahead. My elbows are pushing in. If it's workable, I can go ahead and press and power up. And bring it down. And then maybe just a heel lift on the alternating. And down. So this one, when you're ready, power it up. Bring it down. Heel lift. And down. Use that booty. Use that booty. Use those hamstrings. Power it up. Bring it down. This one is not easy. Press and little lift. We have one more of the set. Power it up. Bring it down. Little press. And down. Nasty. Take that leg and let's just roll it up. Send those legs out. Bring your elbows in and just fold forward. How are the hammies and the glutes? That's a good hello, isn't it? So I'm sitting in tall. I've pulled the ball in, so I'm supporting my spine, and I'm just rocking from left to right, getting a hamstring stretch here. Now, if this feels okay, you can stretch that ball farther forward and rock into that stretch from left to right. Inhale, exhale for me. Slowly bring that up. Leave the ball out of the way. Bring your legs all the way around. And let's come up into down dog or elephant just to add that extra bang for our little hamstrings. Whoo! That's a deep one. Got that posterior line saying hello. Wiggle that tailbone from left to right, getting a little lateral movement in your spine. And then walk your hands to your feet in 4. Bend the knees if you need to. 3. All the way in onto 1. Look through your legs. Get that stretch. And then slowly peel up. Give those legs a little shake, you guys. That's a lot of the lower half leg there. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, hands down, center heart. And we're going to go into a little bit of abdominals. We're going to go side laterals. So here's where you do need access to a wall. If you are on a carpet or something where there's any potential that your ball's going to shoot away because your floor doesn't grab it, you want your mat. All right? From there, we're going to go quite close. So I'm just standing basically quite neutral with my shoulder just touching the wall. I don't need to have my hand on the ball right at this point in time, but this is kind of my distance, right? Standing neutral, there's my distance. I'm going to bring that ball right beside. I'm going to take my front leg closest to the ball forward, and then I'm going to move back a little bit so you guys can see. Front leg forward, back leg goes back, and I'm up, kind of like the lunge that we were before. Right? And now I'm going to go down, pull that ball into my hip, drop onto it, find my ball in my wall, place my front leg strong, place my back leg. Now what I haven't done is straighten out my back leg behind me. I'm keeping it in so my hip and my knee are in a straight line on the wall and I'm not extended backwards to the wall. That allows me to form my spine over top without my QL getting too miffy. Now if when I laid down my armpit is dangling way off, that's fine. Just know it's going to make it way harder on you. All right. So from here, I'm going to come a little lower. My hip doesn't feel quite connected to the ball. And then I'm going to roll back on. So I should now have this beautiful lateral flexion. I'm going to grab my top wrist. If I'm tight in the shoulders, I'm going to bring it forward of my face. If I'm okay, I'm going to take it to my ear. I'm going to dip down towards the wall and then press out a little bit for more stretch. Dip down, press out. So this is getting into that lateral. Be careful. A lot of us can be quite tight here. So there's no such thing as one lung breathing unless you actually have a collapsed lung or something wrong with one lung. But in theory, with more pressure into the top rib opening, I can feel more expansion into the top one. So go ahead and let's play with that concept of breathing into that one side. Now stay here, take your bottom arm, wrap it around and push your shoulder down, top arm into the apex, and start your side laterals. Touch your shoulder, bring it up. So where this can go, I take my hand off, it reaches down my leg. That feels good, I support my neck if I have any neck issues. Still feels good, that arm starts to reach. Still go over into the lateral, come up slowly, go down slowly. Both sides feeling good. I can reach both arms above the head. My legs are both bent, so I'm not overstretching the hip flexor of the back leg. That is not my focus point. If I overstretch that back leg, my QL is probably going to get quite pissed at me. Go 4 more. And 3. Exhale as you come up. Side sit-ups here. 2. And 1. Now I'm going to reach that top arm down, support my neck. I'm finding neutral, lengthened out. I'm going to pulse up from neutral. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lie your spine long. Now I'm going to back my back leg up and my front leg up and make my line on the wall bigger. And I'm going to dip into the water for the circle. Roll my shoulder blade onto the ball as I open backwards. So here the ball is rolling underneath me. I'm going to roll to the front and then roll to the back. Beautiful circles here, you guys. When you're ready, circle the other direction, open. So right here, I'm opening as big as I can, and then coming forward in my spine. Rotate backwards, rotate forward, both hands on the ball, nice and strong. Push up to your elbow, hand on the wall, get your back foot underneath you, use your hip, pop yourself up. Ooh. So this one I'm going to do a side lateral facing this direction. Same thing, make sure your mat is in a direction that it can support you. So I'm going to stand with my shoulder against the wall, and the ball would be just touching my leg, and that's about the distance that I want. From there, my leg closest to the ball goes forward, my leg closest to the wall goes back. I line the ball up with my hip, I drop, pull it into my greater trochanter, and drop onto it. Elbow goes on, front foot on the floor, goes to the wall, back foot goes to the wall. My knee is now in a straight line with my hip, and I allow my body to curl over. More of my armpit hanging off, the harder the exercise, you can move accordingly. So in this one, we're going to find the stretch. Grab your top wrist, tighten your shoulders, lean it forward slightly, or if your QL is tight, here's a beautiful stretch for it. I'm grabbing that top wrist, so the bottom hand grabs the top wrist. Instead of having it by my ear, getting the lung breath stretch, I'm going to go forward, round my spine, and pull that hand towards the front part of the floor. So at an angle from my ball, I'm going to tuck my tailbone a little bit, and that's going to drive into that QL stretch. Big breaths there. That's feeling okay. I can take my ear to my shoulder, or my ear to my shoulder, that made no sense. My arm to my ear and go straight over the side. If I bend in and push away on the ball from the wall slightly, it'll exaggerate where the stretch goes. So I'm slowly just giving a very gentle movement in and out. I'm going to breathe as big as I physically can into that top rib cage, really stretching out those intercostal muscles as I breathe. So remember, your external intercostals are your inhale muscles, and vice versa. Gently come out of that. Wrap your bottom arm over your shoulder, rest your shoulder, top arm on the apex. Start your lateral flexion. Touch the shoulder, press it up. Working for you, top arm reaches down your body. Don't overstretch this back leg. Keep it bent so that that QL is not getting miffy and it doesn't rotate you. Your body's between two panes of glass. Feels good, support your neck. Don't be shy, we're going over and up. So don't just go to neutral. Go to lateral flexion on the bottom, lateral flexion on the top. Feels good, bottom arm reaches out. Still feels good, top arm reaches out. When you come down, deathly slow. So down, controlling the eccentric contraction, and up is just naturally slow. Don't use momentum, don't bounce off that ball. I like an exhale as I contract up. Let's go 3 more. And 2, use your breath, pull your abs in. Last 1, hold yourself straight out in neutral and pulse it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then pull your hips in a little closer. Right here, I like to move the ball out a little farther. I go up on my elbow, move it out, and then I'm going to lie long. I'm going to widen out my stance. Find that with my legs moving forward and backwards, I can shift the ball forward and backwards, like we're talking side, I guess it would be, and then reach that forward. Roll onto your back, open your chest, support your neck if you need to, and stretch it open. Roll forward for an inhale, QL stretch, right there as you lean forward. Open into the back, massive chest stretch, maybe hip flexor, maybe quad, depends where you're tight, guys. 1 more this direction, use your breath, and open, and then when we're ready, other direction. Sweep it around, open it up. 1 more time, stay wherever it feels a little tight, take a couple breaths there. My top hand goes on the ball for stability. I do a little bit of a bounce to pop my elbow on, hand on the wall, hand on the ball, 1 leg in, 1 leg in, pop yourself up from your hips. Ooh, lovely. All right, so from here we're going to go into a little bit of extension work. Same rule of thumb, I want to make sure that the mat is in the ball area so that I don't send myself flying. I'm just going to start here just initially to show the feet pattern. So I want to be not right tagged to the ball. I want to be slightly forward. My feet are close. I've got them about a foot away from the wall is where I'm going to place my foot, and I'm going to send my booty back. From there, I'm going to laterally rotate my hips, bend down, and let my pubic bone drop in and fold the ball. Hands go down. From there, I straighten my legs to the wall in lateral rotation. So the wall is my anchor. If I'm tight in the hips and I'm trying to avoid a lot of hip extension through my hip area, I'd keep the knees slightly bent. If I'm okay there, I will straighten the legs. If I'm feeling really good, I can go up on the ball of foot and be more active on the wall in the calf line as well. So I'm going to come to the front view on that. So once you're in position, your feet should be not way out here where you can see them wider than the ball. They're in the size of the ball, not hugely wide. I'm going to keep my hands down and I'm going to let my spine fold down. My abs are engaged, my legs are straight if it's okay. And then I'm just going to come up to Superman, or what we call torpedo on the ball. Pull your abs in, and as I come up here, I'm going to let go with my fingers and reach my arms. I'm not in extension yet, I'm just lengthening. And then I'm going to bend my knees and fold down. Maybe the ball will roll into the wall a little bit because my knees are bending. And then I'm going to exhale. I'm going to reach my arms into Superman or torpedo, straighten my legs, and find neutral spine. Not extended. I'm against gravity, which makes it hard. So I'm going to fold down and then exhale and reach. A little harder. Fold down. Arms are heavy. Exhale and reach the arms out. Now, if you went to do that and you're like, damn, that's hard, but I want to do it, move the ball slightly farther out, giving your torso more support. Fold down and torpedo. So my arms can either drive forward or drive back. Back is easier, less weight. Now hold it here with your hands on the ball. Place your hands on the ball. I want you to push into your hands and extend your spine a bit. Hip flexors kicking in, bend the knees. And then go into your torpedo again and fold forward. So find torpedo, arms reaching or hands on the ball. Hands on the ball, bend your knees, lift your heart, and actually push your pubic bone into the ball. So I'm going to go side view here. Kind of gives a little bit of help as to where this goes. So from here, I went from torpedo, bent my knees quite deep. So my knees are basically parallel to the floor now, and I've lifted my heart. So now I'm just straight up and down, pushing my pubic bone and really clenching into those gluteals. From here, I'm going to lift my thoracic spine a little more open. Bring thoracic into neutral. This is our swan dive on the ball. Press it out. Fold it forward. Bend in. So push out to torpedo. Long. Bend the knees. Push your pubic bone into the ball and be kind of straight up and down. My heels just went flat on the wall. Now I'm going to push into my hands and extend my thoracic more. Thoracic into neutral. Reach long. And then fold down. So now I'm going to add the full one a little bit harder. Push into torpedo, arms reach. Push your pubic bone into the ball, arms to the sky. My knees are pretty much almost on the floor, right? From here, I'm going to extend into my thoracic and cervical. Bring that back to the sky. Reach it out to Superman torpedo. Abs in, abs in, abs in. And fold down. One more time. Reach it out. Draw those abs in strong. Shoulders shifted into back pockets. Bend those knees a lot as you teeter-totter up. So I'm actually still quite neutral in my spine. And then lengthen your upper torso. Bring that back to neutral. Press it into long. Now stay here in the long. Stay here. Lengthened. So if you're down here, see if you can lift. Sweep the arms behind you. Sweep the arms forward. Nothing else is moving. My legs are straight if possible. I'm pulling my belly button up off the floor or the ball in theory. My knees can be bent if I need to. And I'm just mobilizing shoulder girdle. Go 2 more. This one's tough. And reach, waking up those back extensors. Press, keep the hands in the back. Fold forward and be a frog. So I'm going to take my legs, lift them and go wide. So they're kind of nice and wide, froggied around. And then from froggy around, I'm going to allow my spine now to flex with the ball. Rounding over it. Inhale, exhale. So that ball is opening up my hips quite wide. If I'm able to, I'll push back all the way so I'm actually just rounded with my ball and I can literally hug it and lift it off. So I'm rounding forward, using my triceps, head goes to the floor, press it, froggy. Open it and roll. Press it and froggy. Make sure you've got enough control you don't fall backwards into the wall, please. One more time, round your spine. Forward it through. Once you're here, find that ball. Power that up. Whoo, lovely. Give a few little rolls there, you guys. We're just going to open up the opposite direction just to finish the stretch. My feet want to stay on. I'm going to bring my booty quite far forward, form my spine through. Now, if this is where I want to stay, I'll stay. If I feel okay, I'll let my head go. For me, I get scared that I'm going to lose the position on my ball. I'm going to fall off. So I actually grab my mat on the sides, and then with my fists to the floor, I allow my legs to go straight and my hips to lift, giving me a little extension through my spine. If that's too much, I bend my knees. And then I roll it back, but I bring my mat up with me just for support, right? I just get a little freaked out that I'm going to lose my position. Roll it back. If it feels good, you can straighten out those legs there, guys. And then roll it up. On the last roll up, come all the way up. Careful you don't get lightheaded. Push that body into the ball. Whoo, roll those shoulders. Lovely. Power into those legs. Just leave that ball. Come up into tall stand. Give everything a little wiggle and a shake. Let's take a big inhale as we come all the way up. Exhale, hands down, center heart. Let's take the breath the other direction. Open it. Bring it around. Open that chest. Roll those shoulders. And we are done.